Hey guys, it's your boy Pat. Welcome back to the next episode of the Hollow Down Cigar Lounge podcast. We're going to jump straight in and bring in our boy Chad over again today. What's going on, my man?
How you doing?
Pretty good, boss. Pretty good. Supposed to have some weather today, but it lucked out. So we are cruising outside. So maybe this thing won't hit me in the head like it did last time we had it up. I guess that worked. I got a lot of laughs, so whatever.
Yeah, definitely got some points.
Yeah, so we're going to do a couple things on the show today. We had a caption contest off of a picture that, if I have my numbers right, surfaced from episode 29 when you decided to try the Jarritos Tamarind and turned out that it was a fantastic drink and is becoming your new favorite dinner drink.
Not so much.
Not so much?
No, never again.
This picture, where am I pointing? This picture over here is what we're going to talk about, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. But before we start talking too much, it is cigar time, baby.
That's right.
So today we are smoking the Rocky Patel Vintage 1992. As usual, I've got a close-up video coming up to you here as well. I'm going to verify this in just a moment once we start smoking, but I always like to let Chad show these. I'll verify
Good
this.
Looking stick, yeah.
It is. It actually, I like the black and gold on it. I like that a lot. So I guess that's gold-ish, rose gold maybe.
The thing I was telling you I noticed was that cap's a little small, so I'm going to punch mine. I think you said
yeah, so I'll while you're punching, I'm gonna pull myself back up and see if I can show them this. So the cap on this one, the band looks great. The front band, the back band, all of it. However, what Chad and I both noticed is, if I get this to focus for y'all, is that top cap. See how it's real small? It's still technically a full cap, but it's real small. So we're both afraid that if we do our traditional V cuts, we might shred it off. So Chad did a punch, and I'm doing a straight cut on it, and we're going to see in comparison how that goes with the review. And yeah, as I did the straight cut, most of that cap just flew right off. So
I was afraid to even straight cut it.
And yeah, you know what? Since we're going right to this, is if you can see that, Chad. Did that right there.
I had a little bit of lift on one edge, even hole punching it. Wasn't terrible, but
unfortunately, and I don't remember, unless I'm just brain dumping it, I don't remember the other blends doing that. So I've got a point right here. I'm gonna try to snag it, and hopefully it won't unravel. We will see as we go. And just a kickback, since it's that time of year again, smoke in time. This is last year's event cutter from the Year of the Dragon, the Great Smoke 2024. The tickets for 2025 just released just a matter of days ago.
I guess they sold out almost instantly, huh?
The in-person tickets and the VIP tickets sold out quick, almost crashed the website.
I heard they did crash the website. That's some of the hullabaloo I was reading.
Oh yeah, you're right. It did.
They actually took the site down.
That is because Abe had to do some fixing, or get his guys to do some fixing. I won't make it in person, so I've got virtual tickets, so I'll get the cigar and swag, but I won't be able to make the event because, of course, it's a work weekend and I can't get away.
So I did a little bit of reading on this real quick because I had never smoked one.
What you got?
And the thing I noticed, that a couple people had mentioned that it was really peppery and it had a bitter, like, first quarter inch. But as soon as I lit mine, I didn't get any bitter. And I was able to retro it right off the bat. So it's a little bit smoother than what I was thinking it was going to be in my brain. So that's a good start.
Well, I just did a retro. Mine's a little stouter than yours, apparently. Whew. I mean, it's not super peppery, but not what I expected.
Yeah.
Looking on Cigars International's comments about the flavor, it mentions it's got a thick, medium-bodied note full of coffee and earth. Should draw and burn pretty evenly with some licorice flavors and a woody finish. So they don't actually reference, any harsh pepper either. So be interesting to see.
I think one of the sources I went to was Blind Man's Puff. And then I actually saw it twice, which made me say that because I was expecting it to be, they said bitter too. Both of them said bitter, like for the first quarter, and then they said it went right away.
Smooths out after.
Yeah, but I don't taste bitter.
I don't get bitter at all.
Just pepper.
I mean, you almost don't get much pepper unless you retro it. I mean, it's there, but it's not a punch.
I don't know how to smoke without retro. So.
Well, I didn't retro for a long time, so I guess it's a little bit easier for me to bypass that sometimes, just because I didn't do it by default.
Yeah.
Starting out, and I'm curious. I'm going to see exactly how long I've had this in the humidor to see if maybe that, I know I've had it for a little while. I wonder if maybe that had something to do with it, because the one you have is one I sent you, so they'll have the same age on it. So we are a year and a half. So I put them in the humidor March 2023, a little over a year and a half.
Yeah, they taste like they've been sitting a while.
Yeah. And
a little touch up.
And I was accurate on what I said on this being the fourth one. Is on this show we have, with different guests, we have gone over three of them. So episode 11, that was with me and Kate's. We went over the vintage 2006. Had Derek on episode 16. We did the vintage 1990. And then had Derek again on episode 19. We did the vintage 1999. So this is the 92. And the last one that is in this lineup is the 2003 Cameroon that we have not done yet, that I'll bring in at some point to do full circle with all five of their common vintage lines.
Yeah, I haven't smoked a ton of Rocky Patel. I've smoked a lot of the Edge.
Edges are
Edge
great.
Series. Yeah, they're like a little less expensive, but man, you can get some good sticks out of there.
My favorite Edge might actually be that A10 barber pole. It's just like caramel goodness.
I'm 1,000% sure I haven't tried that. I've had the blue banded one and the white banded one, and those are both a little bit darker. I liked both of those. Yep. They're like more Maduro.
If I had an A10 left, I would send it to you, but I don't. I need to get some.
That's all right.
But I don't know if y'all saw just a few seconds ago, this little puppy put out a great amount of smoke just then.
And mine's making a ton of smoke. It's good too.
I feel like having a Derek moment right now.
I just did. I just was licking my lips there for a second.
Licking the lips, and then he points to the camera and blow it in your face. That's what he does.
Getting a little bit of coffee right now. That's about it.
Speaking of Derek, we may actually get him on a show again for all of you visitors. We've been trying to work out on that, and just about have our schedules linked out. So hopefully we'll get him on there with you there soon.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
So, what do you, since this actually got some, I don't know if I want to go complex yet, but multiple flavors, what are you pairing with? Are you just doing a basic drink? Did you get some more tamarind or?
Dr. Pepper. No, I did bring a surprise guest today. We're not going to.
Oh. Is that the?
It's passion fruit.
Passion fruit.
Yeah.
So, the same brand, but I guess you didn't want to go back to that, your new favorite?
Well, my daughter bought this variety pack for her. She has to take a dish to her Spanish class, and so the easiest way for her to get out of having to make something is to do something like that. So she checked with the teacher, and they said, yeah, you can bring Jarritos. So
There we go.
but then
Well,
she ended up taking something else, and so the Jarritos stayed here. My son and I are drinking them. So
set the most of them, as anybody who watched 2 shows ago knows now, most of them are pretty good.
mm-hmm.
Well, I am drinking, which you asked me if 2 or 3 shows back when we were referencing the Cigar Fest that Justin and I went to, or we went to this year's, but when we went to the one last year, they had a new scotch that I loved. And when you asked me, I brain farted and couldn't remember the name, even though it was inside on the shelf. So I brought it today. So it's Deanston. And if that'll stop reflecting a little bit. So
Push it a little farther, I think.
I got some sun glaring on me. So it's Deanston. It's a Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. It's a virgin oak. Very good. Not sponsored, of course. Like I'll always tell y'all, it's just drinking what we like. First couple of sips, I guess it's that woodiness, woodiness. Brett made fun of me for because I don't know which way to say that properly.
Either way, probably.
Anyway, told you he went on a whole conversation about different types of wood after that mark.
Mm-hmm.
But it's working pretty well, I think.
Pepper's definitely backed off on this.
Yeah, even what I was getting, it's all but gone.
Yeah. Mine's still a little spicy, but it's not terrible. So.
I'm still a fan either way. So definitely a good intro on this smoke. Gonna give it time to see if these other flavors. Have you gotten any of those? They're saying coffee and liquor. So you getting anything like that yet? I feel
Coffee,
like I'm getting
for sure. Coffee, not licorice or anything. Just I'm still getting coffee and a little bit of pepper.
Same. I got the pepper, got the wood. I can't really say what it was because I'm drinking a virgin oak barreled scotch, so of course the oak's going to kind of influence that a little bit. But definitely getting some wood tones and definitely the coffee for sure. Haven't got anything else. I'm not upset about it though. Those are definitely some good marks on any cigar for me.
No, it's a good, solid flavor. I like it.
Well,
so far so good. It's my first time with this stick for sure. You've smoked it before, right?
I've smoked this one. Some of the other Rocky Patel vintage lines I had not. This one I had, which is kind of why I saved it more towards the end of the list. I wanted to go through the others, then come back and visit it, see if I still enjoyed it the way I did, and I do. And now that I'm on the spot, I'm forgetting, but one of the guys in the Holodown group just the last few days smoked one of these, and I commented on it, and now I can't remember who it is. So please call me out on this video for forgetting who you are. Because I didn't write it down because until about 10 minutes ago, I knew exactly who it was.
Yeah, that's so much better than greasy butt, whatever that flavor was.
Tamarind.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, man, if y'all are watching, y'all have no idea. Please go back to episode 29 and watch this man make fun of himself. I didn't have to do it. It was great. Rightfully so. I mean, it's kind of equivalent to when Brett, Derek, and I drank the Fluffer Nutter into last year. We had to make a show of making fun of ourselves for that too. So,
and you said that was peanut butter beer?
Something like that. It's made by Abita, which is a great seasonal brewery down here. Everything else they do that's got some seasonal flavors, fantastic. That was supposed to be some sort of peanut butter infused beer. I don't know what it actually was, but it was horrible, absolutely horrible. I actually, in that video, I put up a little clip that Brett's wife got of me doing it, and I was chasing the beer with the cigar, like we talked about, it was just completely backwards. It was
right. You were trying to get the flavor of the beer out of your mouth. I'm getting a little bit of a wonky burn I just showed there. I don't know. I've had to touch this up twice, but not a huge deal, right?
Are you getting any wind like I was the other day?
No, I don't have too much wood here, just a touch, but it shouldn't be enough to affect the burn on this. It might just be, this is like a soft box press, right? So
It is.
sometimes they
Mine's
burn
at an
a
angle, but
little
it's, I mean,
weird.
I consider that acceptable, so I'm not getting anything at the moment.
If I have to just hit a corner 2 or 3 times while I'm smoking, I still give that a good, I mean, that's especially
Absolutely.
on a box press. Any box presses, that's tough to have a nice razor sharp burn.
It is. And we've kind of mentioned that before. The corners kind of play games with you, or they can play games with you on your burn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since not too much, if you guys don't know about it, if you just a free plug, since I had the cutter, this is, man, that light is just going to reflect everything. The Great Smoke 2024. This is last year. The theme last year was Year of the Dragon. This year, it is Renaissance. If you're unable to attend, or apparently it's already sold out because smoking customers and the smoking socialites absolutely destroyed the website in good nature. One thing that I like about that show, and this is just kind of a free plug from Patt to you, is a lot of cigar events you pay to come in person or you don't, right? Well, the Great Smoke, they have a virtual ticket option as well. And what you do is you can go on there and pay for, you get all the cigars and you get all the free swag. So this year it's $185. You get 32 premium cigars. You get the same cigars that the guys in person are going to get as far as the included premiums. There's ashtrays, cutters, lighters, shot glass, lanyard, the whole shebang. And they get mailed to you the week of the event. So you have them when the event goes live. They broadcast theirs like commentator style. So if you're available to watch it, you can jump on the link and watch the event happening as well. Kind of feel like you're there, but you still get access to the pre-event special blends that they put out. And one difference that they do, where some other events may have those special event only blends at the event, they'll post them for sale ahead of time, and you can only access them ahead of time if you have a ticket, and the virtual tickets count. So if you're interested in checking that out, go to Smoke Inn's website, look for the Great Smoke. I believe it's actually got a direct website, so you can probably just search for the Great Smoke. Pretty good event. So something I wish I'd have known years before I learned about it.
Do they send you all the swag and stuff they give away too? Like
yeah,
the bags and all the cutters and lighters and all that stuff comes with your package?
Yep, it all comes in one package. Like last year with it being Year of the Dragon, there was this like 3-tiered red box. The top tier had ashtray, shot glass, cutter, had one of those hand drums, had a lighter, all branded with the theme, and then the 2 layers underneath it had all the cigars. So it all came as one big package, and it ended up on the doorstep days before the event. So I was able to, if I would have been free to, of course I was at work again last year, but if I was able to be off and watching it, I could smoke one like I was there. So it comes, you get all the same initial swag that you get walking in the door at the event. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They do some cool stuff down there at Smoke Inn.
They do.
It's a good business.
Abe's not the only one, but he's mastermind behind a lot of it. And he's just got good business sense, good personality, all of it.
Yeah, they do a good job.
They do. So I'm not going to tease everybody as much as we have before. How about you say we bring up your embarrassing moment again?
Let's do it.
So, as a reminder, this picture, well, I'm on the other side. This picture now. I never know which way I'm pointing on this thing, So this picture over here is a 3-shot picture, right? And they were just pulled from video screenshots from the episode as Chad was first time trying this Tamarind, right? So we had a little caption contest on the Facebook group out of the Hollow Down family, and we ran it for just a few days, and literally whoever got the best we've done one of these before. Let me back up. We've done one of these before, and me and you just picked what we thought was the best caption or the funniest caption out of the group. Sent some cigars to the winner. Then we decided to do this one just a little bit different. So instead of actually just cold call picking one, we decided to pick the top 4, and then they're going to be in an entry, which I'm entering in right now. So the 4 entries, and I'm going to show them to you as I read these as well. So the first one was from Melissa. Proof that smoking cigars may cause excessive personality, which I thought might have been the most accurate comment or caption of the group, because if you've watched us or anybody else that does anything around cigars, very rarely are we boring and completely idiotic. Well, no, we're idiotic people, but we're very rarely just boring.
Yep.
If you want proof on idiots, go back to episode 30.
Mr. Lowry.
Justin Lowry, bringing out the pirates.
I reposted that again today.
I saw that.
His picture was the post.
Fantastic. Number 2 is from Justin Lowry. Man just mentioned, when the drink tastes like it's been marinated in pure betrayal. It's about the best.
He said it like a pirate. It wasn't even pirate themed, man.
We're talking about Justin. I mean, he was a pirate last time. What are you gonna do?
You should have used a Spanish accent or something, because it was Jarritos.
Right. Jarritos. When the drink tastes like it's been marinated in pure betrayal.
That was better.
Or portrayal de puro. That's not right either. I don't know. Where's I need some help. Anyway, so the next one we've got is Justin Elliott. My phone's making noises. Sorry if you were able to hear that mess. I have no idea what just happened. So, Justin Elliott, newer member to the group, watches Bear Grylls once. Your own pee can hydrate you, in British accent, which I don't have, by the way. Regrets owning a TV to see that in the first place. You can read. That was a good one. I thought that was a good one. And then the number 4 was from Court Campbell. When you realize the cold one you cracked open was actually your roommate's experimental homebrew.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I both liked that and was both disgusted and intimidated by it at the same time. Anyway, so we've got 3 honorable mentions that I want to show out to you as well, and then we're going to spin the wheel for those top 4. So what we've got is Melissa had 2. The only one that we had 2 that we pulled. This one is, some call it indulgence. He calls it investing in happiness, which is ironic, the complete opposite of what he was experiencing.
Mm-hmm. Investing in sadness.
Investing in sadness. Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. And then we got one from Whitney. Photographic evidence that adding pineapples to the mix really doesn't change the taste. We'll leave that for your good nature and your bad thoughts. And our last honorable mention is from Ryan, homeboy that was on the group last time. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get that sour out the door. So we got a few good comments, I thought, but we did have to stop and pick our top 4. So you've got Melissa, Justin L, Justin E, and Court. So what you're going to see, just like we've done in some of our other drawings, right? I am loading up this wheel, and for Chad's purpose, you can see it. I've got all 4 of the names on there. Spin the wheel. Now all of you are going to see this on the screen as well. So it is equal competition between Melissa, Justin E, Court, and Justin L. We're gonna let fate decide on the wheel. So
I like
before
letting
I
the
do
wheel
that,
decide.
but what are we deciding on? I purposely skipped that because y'all guys have no
Oh
idea.
yeah.
I lied. I didn't purposely skip that. My brain fart went way too far.
Remember, you got to point this way. Oh wait, see, I see why you get screwed up now.
See?
Yeah, because I'm pointing in the middle of this. Yeah, I got you
Right.
now.
So you see yourself. They see you as you're looking at you. It's a fun
Right.
thing.
Gotcha.
So just because we were making a little bit of fun at Chad's expense, he came up with a little cigar and swag deal from Crown Heads. Post that. Man, did it again. Post that picture up here for you as well. 4 amazing cigars and that hat that I'm actually jealous of whoever is about to get this, because that's a dope hat, by the way.
It is
So whoever,
nice.
it is a nice hat.
I wanted to keep it, but I was like, I got so many hats.
Right,
Just give it away.
It's a good problem. When you have too much, you share the love, right?
That's right.
So we're gonna spin this wheel if you're ready for it, Chad.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so spinning the wheel. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Slowing down. Oh, it is going to be right on. You have got to be kidding me.
What does it say? Justin Lowry.
Justin Lowry. Jesus, dude. Right?
No, just kidding. Congratulations, Justin.
No, we're congratulating everybody. We're giving him crap if you don't know why, because he won the last contest we did. And then we let him on the show again last time, and here he wins again. I swear it is not rigged. That's why we do it this way. Dude's just got some luck on his side, so. But
there'll be some more coming up to hop in on. So.
Oh yeah, we're always going to do some giveaways. So I swear to you, Justin is not going to win all of these.
We hope.
I may just have to ban him from a few or something. I don't know what we're going to do. But either way, we've got some other giveaways coming up that we'll talk about. So we'll send those to you, Justin. In all seriousness, congratulations to you and anybody else who ever wins a giveaway, whether it's 1 stick or 10. Whatever happens, we just like to share the love. And I'm really not upset that Justin gets it, because he also kicks back to some other people as well. So he's not just a receiver. He also likes to share the love that we do as well. So there's which is what we want. We want the community kind of build, which is kind of what this is for.
Yeah.
But
he's a good dude.
He is, and that's why we brought him in. I tried to get him on episodes a long time ago, and it took a while. So I'm glad, we finally brought him in as well. And me and you testing out this remote session kind of helped to make things a little bit more feasible for some of us. So there's reasons to everything. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do it next or not, but we've got a couple other giveaways that we're going to be talking about in the future. We're going to do some Name That Cigar, where we show you a cigar without a band, and you got to tell us what it is.
That'll be
fun. That'll be fun. Got a couple different ideas there. And in about 3-ish weeks or so, it's Cigars for Warriors time again. So if you are new to the group or new to the channel and you don't know what that means, we are partners with Cigars for Warriors. And there's their link down there, cigarsforwarriors.org, if you haven't heard about them. It is a veteran-sponsored group, and of course their logo is in one of these corners, whichever way I'm pointing to. I know, right? It's a problem. So just start pointing this way.
Yeah.
So we partner with Cigars for Warriors. We are not a brick and mortar location, so you've got places like Cigars International and a bunch of brick and mortars all over the country that you can come in and bring cigars to them. They pack them, send them up to Cigars for Warriors. Cigars for Warriors packs them up, sends them to deployed troops that may or may not have access to cigars, to kind of give them a little bit of relaxation and personal therapy away from home. How we do that, being an online presence, we're directly partnered with them. We do 2 drives a year, once in the summer, once around New Year's, and Christmas. We run it through the Facebook group. You can either send me those cigars, or you can send money and I'll buy cigars on your behalf if you don't want to deal with shipping. At the end of the drive, we take everything that I've collected from all of you and we send one big package to them as a family group. So I post pictures anytime I send y'all cigars, so there's transparency, and then we send them all to them and share it that way. So that drive will start around December 1st and usually runs till January 15th or so. So we get about 6 weeks of donation time in there. So be looking out for that as well. And I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet, but we have a planned special surprise because at the end of our drives, we do a giveaway. We change it up every time. Last time we had 3 different entry levels based on how many cigars you donated. Can't tell you what we're doing yet this next time. Sometimes it may just be one person, but we have a way to give back to you guys as a thank you for helping us donate to the troops. So be looking for that as well. So a couple different ways for guys to get some free swag and free cigars.
I love the Cigars for Warriors drive. It's one of my favorite things because I feel like there's no better way to give back to those guys. So, and such an easy thing for us to do. I mean, here we are sitting on our couches and,
hanging out.
The little thing we can do for them is just send them some smokes. I'm going to focus this time more on some, as well as some cigars, just some like cheaper cutters and lighters and stuff. I think we kind of talked about that because I feel like they have a hard time acquiring that stuff possibly. So, and you can get cutters for a couple bucks a piece, or they don't have to be high dollar. They just want something to cut them, right?
I don't, and lighters are usually okay. So they send everything through the post office as long as it doesn't have the fuel in it. So they may have to get the fuel, but
can they send butane like that or no? Like, could you send cans of butane or?
Technically you can, but I wouldn't because they try to send everything priority mail, and if you're sending stuff overseas, that requires it to have to go on a plane or anything. When you start sending hazardous materials like batteries and fuel, they're not allowed to go on the plane because of TSA rules and regulations.
Right, and it's pressurized too, so there's issues with that.
Domestic travel, domestic shipping, that's not a problem because they can you tell them, hey, it's in there, they send it on a truck. But when you're trying to get overseas, it could cause some issues. So I don't recommend sending fuel, but if you have, an empty lighter or something like that, then that's one less thing that they have to get. The only thing they may have to get is, any fuel or Bic or whatever. So it beats sticking it with a knife and, rubbing 2 rocks together. So,
well, and I see people all the time. They're like, "Oh, I can't, I don't want to help, or I can't help, or whatever." Just a few cigars. You don't have to send 100 cigars or 20 cigars. Send 2, 3, 4, 5, because it all adds up.
We've got a few people that will send, 5 at a time. And I'll tell you what, speaking on behalf of several guys, and I was in the service, but thanks to a knee injury, I didn't deploy. But even with that, yes, I may like higher end cigars at times, but if my choice is a cheap cigar or no cigar, I'm gonna take a cheap cigar. So that doesn't mean that they're only getting cheap cigars, but it means if you're, like Chad said, if you're in a situation where you can't or unable to spend a lot of money, there's a lot of $2 cigars out there, and we've talked about some like the factory smokes and those frescos we tried recently, and there's several good lines that you can get that are cheap, that are still good smokes for these guys to enjoy. So, and girls.
You get on like Cigar Page and wait for a flash sale where you can buy a couple 5-packs for $15 each or something.
Right.
There's $3 a stick.
There's a lot of different options to get into where you can kind of help us support these guys out. So that'll be coming up soon. So if you're not a member of the Facebook page and you're watching this, jump up to it. Link for that will be in the show notes, as well as it has periodically come by your screen a few times. But
so back to this smoke. I'm starting to get licorice, like black licorice.
I'm not yet, so I'm gonna purposely take a small draw and pull an Eddie Sahaki in here.
I only get it on my retro though. Like it's going up to the back of my palate, I suppose. Or maybe a little more like an anise.
Okay. If you don't know my comment, Eddie Sahakian, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I usually see it spelt out. He is him and his dad are one of the legendary shop owners at Davidoff in London. And he's got a trend, and I almost always forget to do it. His first draw, he doesn't focus on for lack of a better term, proper smoking. He pulls it in and will move his palate around, lick the inside of his mouth, and get the flavor started, and then he starts smoking. Reason I bring this up is because when you said you tasting licorice, I was tasting none of it until I pulled his technique. I just did that, and I can taste it. I don't taste it on the back of my palate, but if I inhale and taste around my mouth, I can pull it out. So it's real.
Making a lot of smoke right now too.
I would say the flavor's there, but it's subtle.
So far, it's a good stick. I'm impressed.
It is a good stick. It is a very smoky stick. The pepper has continued to, for me, gradually kind of taper off. It's still there,
Mine's
but
almost gone. Yeah.
Instead of having a quick fall off, it's just kind of gradually tapering down, getting more of the coffee. The woods probably stayed the same.
I'm definitely getting licorice. It's pretty strong too.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm not getting the strong.
It's in the back of my throat, or the back, the top of my roof of my mouth, when I retro it, I can taste it in the top of my mouth and in the back of my throat, up in my, almost to my, going around the corner up to your nose.
I wonder if I retro now, if I get anything different. Very little, but it comes to a little bit more than. Still subtle for me though.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
maybe just a flavor I don't pick up as well. I wonder.
Well, it might be just a matter of they made 20,000 of those cigars too, and they can't all possibly be the exact same.
Still made me cough a little bit on the retro, just like it did at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go through a stick that I smoke all the time, and I'll get different notes out of the same box. True. So they're not all going to be identical.
And that's why a lot of your review sites will, have to smoke multiple before they post a review. Same reason we like to have, I'm not just going to sit here and tell you what I think. I like to have, somebody else, or like last time having 4 of us involved, where we all get, sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. You get different notes, different flavors.
Yeah, that definitely was a good way with 4 guys picking notes out, for sure.
It was. I'm hoping we can, and we've talked off camera a little bit. I'm hoping we can pull that off more often. And, like we said, there's nothing against me and you doing this, and that's going to be, the trend going forward, I think. But I love getting them involved as much as possible. And, hopefully not just them, but bringing in some other people, bringing some people back or new people. I like the vibe of getting other opinions and other perceptions.
Yeah,
more realistic, I think.
Well, one thing I've learned about Ryan is he has a very advanced palate.
He does.
Now, I don't know if you picked that up from him, but he has a very advanced palate.
Some of the stuff he picks up, either A, took me a long time to pick up, or B, I still haven't. He's able to pull out stuff. I mean, he could probably be a reviewer on Half Wheel and be up to par with those guys, and they are deep in their complexity and their details, and that's where he's at. As much as I've smoked, I have problems pulling out certain things, and he pulls it out with ease. So his palate is definitely, it's like the Gordon Ramsay of cigar smoking, I guess.
Well, I've been cursed with sinus problems, so I'm constantly, depending on what time of year it is, my palate's better sometimes, and like this time of year, it's not the greatest because in the spring and fall, I get all stuffed up, and that you lose
Right.
half of your notes just by being stuffed up. So
That is true.
maybe he doesn't deal with sinus issues.
I know I've got allergies, and I know we've
That's his
talked about
superpower.
something. That'd be a great superpower to have. I would pay for that one. And like I said, during the winter, there's a lot of days I smoke a lot more budget sticks in the winter than I do the rest because I don't want to waste money on a good cigar, knowing I may not actually be able to honor it with proper tasting.
Well, I do that too because I smoke outside. So
Right? Same.
I don't want to be, because sometimes it's smoking out of necessity, not so much out of pleasure. So when I'm smoking out of necessity, it tends to be a little less expensive stick.
Yeah, because something we don't have is a shed.
Mm-hmm.
I know Justin was, me and him were talking about, we're a few hours away, so we got the heat to deal with. You and Ryan have the winter to deal with, and Ryan said he's working on that shed. That'd be kind of cool to see if he, gets to finish. It's on a bucket list of mine, but I haven't pulled that off yet either.
Try to adjust my lighting here.
So, just getting to the first band I'm about to pull off. And that was easy. That was easy. I love it.
Unlike last show, I'm way past you. I've taken both bands off. I just took off the back band.
I'll tell you and that was a great cigar last time, but I had a lot of help from Mother Nature smoking that for me as well.
Yeah, so. I know. That's why I was pointing that out, because this is more normal to what happens is you talk a little more and I'm smoking a little more. So
yep. Also had a little bit of help talking last time. We had more voices.
That's
in the room.
Yeah, you didn't have to do all the work, all the heavy lifting.
Right. Well, so we've set our marks. I don't always have this, but this has actually, on average, received a 91 rating. Some cigars we smoke maybe in the 80s, and to me personally, and I know everybody's perspective on the numbers is different, anything above 90 is an exceptional cigar industry-wide. But to me, anything that is an 80 or above, I consider a good cigar.
Smokable,
and
yeah.
Smokable. An 80 or an 81 may not be considered in the greats of the world, like, your Fuente's and your Davidoffs and of stuff of that nature. But to me, anything over an 80 is smokable. It's got flavor. It's got, pretty good draw, burn, construction, yada, yada. Get below 80, then it gets a little sketchy. You may have one that's got amazing flavor and burns like trash, or vice versa. So for the Rocky Patel haters out there, and no disrespect to Rocky, but they're sometimes referenced as the Walmart of cigars, and that's simply because they have so many options.
Their line's huge.
Their line is huge. It's not necessarily meant to be derogatory. It's just the simple fact that when you have such a large line, you may or may not have as much time to devote to like certain particular blends. So when you have such a large line like that, and you can still pull out a cigar that's in the 90s, that says something to your brand as well, no matter whether you like them or not. So having one of these pull out, a 91 rating on several places, and I have not done my personal rating on this one yet. I'll do that when the show's over. I'd expect mine to hit in the 90s as well.
I don't ever really type, I don't use any kind of scale for rating, but I throw numbers at cigars all the time, and this is right around 90, 88, 90 for me.
I said, even if you don't...
It's got to be really good to creep over 90.
We've mentioned it before. Even if you don't have a hardcore system and how you rate them, everybody knows what 0 to 100 is, So that kind of gives you a ballpark. I follow box pressed 5-star scale, which is over flavor, draw, burn, and appearance. And appearance covers your construction. Draw and burn are kind of obvious. Flavor, the more purity and complexity it has without bitterness, is higher. and it formulates those into the industry standard of the 100 scale rating. So even if you're not using that, you know what a 80 is compared to a 95. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely getting black licorice on my tongue now. The farther down I smoke, and I'm ahead of you, so keep that in mind. And I didn't start getting it to about where you're at.
So maybe
So
it
you
might
start
come through in
getting
a
some
minute.
here in a minute, yeah.
It's
But it's
possible.
on my tongue now. It was in the back of my throat before. Now it's on my tongue.
I wonder, going back into this review, of course, I'm just pulling off the standard line off of CI just for clarity, but no, I was curious if it said anything about it being on the back end. It doesn't. It just says that the flavor's there.
Did
It
you
does work well with the scotch, though. I'll tell you that much.
licorice was one of the things that they mentioned? I think for sure,
Yeah,
huh?
actually, specifically, the quote says, "A thick, medium-bodied cigar full of coffee and earth. It draws and burns evenly, taking on licorice flavors and a woody finish." So it's actually in there specifically.
Yeah, and I definitely got a lot of coffee, but the coffee's kind of gone away from me. It's more
Yeah,
wood and licorice for me.
I was about to say mine is at this point is wood and coffee for me. Pepper's pretty much gone.
I'm gonna
I'm with
need a
you on that
tool
one.
soon.
Hey, I'm getting better about remembering it to bring it on the show.
Well, I didn't bring that, but you know what I do have?
Hey,
Corkscrew.
you know what? That works. Anything
But
sharp with some reach.
I had to have it for my bottle opener, so
That's fair.
conveniently, I've got myself a nubber tool.
Hey, for a long time, all I used was a switchblade knife. Just stab it in there. Sometimes I still do that if I forget my tool or if I'm out in the truck or whatever.
Yeah, if you got a knife, it'll work. That's the same thing as a
It'll work.
cutter. I mean, if you don't have a cutter, I've used my knife several times. Just go real slow and just dissect the small line, and then push a little harder as you keep going around. You'll eventually just cut the cap, and you can cut them pretty clean.
Done a lot like that. What is the great Shrek say? That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
No. I wasn't sure which Shrek quote you were gonna pull out, but yeah.
Brett would be proud of me that
he's
I
a
even
wise
pulled out
man.
a movie quote.
Yeah, Shrek's a wise man.
If you ever get, speaking of movie quotes, you ever get Brett on the show, you should do nothing but just say one thing from Anchorman. The show is made.
All right.
That man pulls Anchorman out of every orifice he has. It's ridiculous.
I'll have to dust up on my Ron Burgundy.
I know. We actually, well, by we, I mean Brett and Derek, and I had no, I don't even think I had an inclusion in this. They created a line of cigar names strictly off of Anchorman quotes. It was fantastic.
You should. Was that on a show?
It was. I'll have to go.
Which one was it?
I
you
can't
just
remember.
let me know which one, because I want to go back and watch it.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but what I can tell you, and for those of you watching, because it would have to either be episode 15 or 24, because those are the two that I had Brett and Derek with me together.
All right.
So 15 or 24. I want to say it was 24, but it could be either one of those two. I just know that the two of them were together with me. Good stuff either way.
Yeah, this is a good cigar. I like it. What's the price point on something like this?
I got that pulled up.
10, 12 bucks?
It is. So this size is the Robusto, which is a 5.5 by 50. A 5-pack is 55, so $11. If you get the box of 20, it's $206, so right at $10-ish. So $10, $11 a stick. Hey man, hold on. We got to show the people this. That is the new cigar number right there.
Extraordinaire, baby.
Extraordinaire. Dude, that's fantastic. I ain't even gonna lie. That's some
I'm just
redneck
glad it was sitting
ingenuity.
here. I would have to go in and grab one, so convenient.
So yeah, you're looking at a $10, $11 cigar, depending on how many you get at a time. If you go to the, let's see, how big did these go? They go up to they actually do go up all the way to a Gordo. You've got a Petit Corona 4-inch by 38 all the way up to a 60 6 by 60, and those are $12, $13 a piece.
What were you doing monkeying around with these Robustos?
Honestly, because I got all the packs in a combined sampler, and they were all Robustos in the pack. So when I knew I wanted to bring these on the show last year, a year and a half ago, they had, and I don't know if they still have them. I'd have to go dig. They had all 5 of the vintage lines in a pack together. They were just all Robustos. So instead of getting them individually, I just got 2 of the packs to bring on the show.
Was mine a Robusto? Because I almost swear it was more Toro length.
They are, because I got 2 packs of the same, but they're it's a Robusto, but it's a longer Robusto. It's a 5.5 by 50, so you're getting real
right in between.
close.
Yeah,
it's like halfway between a Robusto and a Toro.
A super Robusto.
Yeah.
Well, there's a real size called double Robusto, and that typically is about what it is, 5.5.
It is.
So.
Interesting that they don't call it that. They just call it Robusto, and then you've got the Toro that comes in a. You got because their regular Toro is 6.5 by 52, so they're just upsizing slightly on
half-inch on everything.
The Churchill normal 7 by 48, the Gordo's normal 6 by 60, but on these 2 sizes, the Petit Corona is your average 4 by 38, but on these 2, they're just half an inch larger. Actually, they've got a junior Petit Corona, which is the 4 by 38, and the regular Petit Corona is 4.5 by 44. So they're kind of just edging the sizes up a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine. You get a little bit more smoke.
You get another 10 minutes.
All right, so to your mark, I just pulled the band off, so I'm right past the band. While I was saying those sizes, I got my first legit pull of some licorice.
There you go.
So it's just the fact that it's towards the end, and you were just ahead of me on.
It was hiding in there for you.
It's hiding in there.
Yeah, and it started getting really thick on my tongue. Like after probably about another half-inch from where you're at, it was just laying on my tongue. I could taste it. Like I ate a piece of black licorice.
And I like the fact that pulling it out actually happened well after the pepper tapered off. So you didn't get a weird
mix of, too bad.
Right.
That wouldn't have been a good mix. I agree.
Because that's 2 more of your harsher flavors, and if they happened at the same time, they might have conflicted. So whether that was on purpose or that was a circumstantial event from the way that they blended it, it works.
As soon as I got to that front band, I was not getting as much coffee. I kind of went away, and I started to taste the licorice, but then it was like licorice and wood, and it's finishing up for me, all licorice and wood.
So the difference marks is my first band, pepper was gone, coffee stayed, and it was coffee and wood. I'm about almost to where the second band was, pretty close to it, and kind of see the line a little bit. I get the licorice, and I'd still say I'm still getting some coffee and wood. Coffee's not as prominent, but it's still there.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not 1,000% right now because of this, but that licorice is coming through strong. You can definitely taste that.
I can tell you the way the very subtle draft I have, everybody watching this has seen me completely blast my side of the screen with a smoke cloud almost every time. The output is phenomenal. And yeah, it's a cool look, but more smoke means more touching of the palate, so you're able to get more flavor off that sometimes too.
Yep. Yeah, I can always pick flavors up better if I have thick smoke. If you have a thin smoke, you're struggling to pick stuff up. But when you have a thick layer, it just comes easier, I think, for me.
Yeah, well, you get a thin smoke, you're pretty much limited to whatever's the most prominent flavor that's strong, because you're not getting as much contact with every surface of the inside of your mouth. So more smoke just makes it easier. So, and I see, I haven't said it, but I see, since, time zone difference with you being ahead of me, you are having to pull my old school card like me and Johnny Bravo did with all the lights.
Oh my gosh. If you can see my setup right now, I got my deck light on. I've got if I take this away, that's
Oh
gone.
yeah, you're gone.
It's a little LED I've got sitting in front of my iPad. And then I have a Milwaukee light over here to my left that I'm kind of panning over, kind of behind me.
Hey, you do what you got to do. It works.
It gets dark fast here now. At 5:30, it starts getting like dark. So
This I've got the horizon. It's creeping there just enough to give me natural light. Probably about the time we close this off, I'll lose mine too. So,
what's your time right now?
Right now, it's real world time. It is 5:06.
5:06, yeah. So we're an hour ahead. So, and
yeah,
it's
just an hour ahead.
As you noticed, it got dark about a half an hour ago. So
it did.
They were spot on.
But since we're talking about time, we got to be sad and we got to say goodbye.
Worst
I need like a lullaby ballad or something when I say this every time, just to reference how.
Oh, you should do that. That's a good idea.
But I will tell you, there's been and I had a guy comment on the Raymond Bueso show that me and Woot did, back last year, where at the end of the cigar or end of the show, we weren't able to talk as much about the end of the cigar because it just kind of stayed the same. This is nice because we're able to talk about the changes along the way, kind of like we did with La Llorona last time. When you get a cigar that's actually got good flavors, good complexity, you can kind of come back to it. You can talk about it. And you don't just have to be like, oh, it's a good cigar. Cool.
Still tastes the same.
It tastes the same. You can actually reference the notes, how they've changed, and that just goes into a good blending process. So,
yep.
Rocky Patel, this is a solid one. So far,
that's all we have left.
So far, out of the vintage series we've done on the show, they've all been great in their own mark. This is my favorite. So that last one we've got left, which I think I said was a 2006, that will probably get you to do with me later on, so we can compare this to 1-to-1. That's a Cameroon, so it's my personal profile. It's probably not going to beat it out, but it's going to have to work hard to top this. I like this one a lot.
I agree. This was definitely a good one.
Well, guys, thank y'all for reliving the Tamarind caption photo contest. Fun times with me. Congrats on Justin again. May just have to make a rule: if you win 2 in a row, you're banned on the next one. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll try to be fair.
Sorry the passion fruit wasn't as entertaining for you guys, but I'll try harder next time.
Try harder next time. Get a worse drink. We need more. But thank y'all for hanging out with us as always. Days like today where we don't really have a good topic, we're just here talking as friends, which goes back to our friendship therapy. Sometimes that's just good vibes and what you need to hear. As always, we've got our email down in the show notes. You can comment on the video on YouTube. This will be also anywhere that you want to hear your podcast as well. Give us a shout out, give us some comments, join us in the Facebook group, give us some love, and we return that love just as well, because in Hollow Down, we are a family. But y'all know the drill. Until next time, stay safe and hollow down.